president and his administration in efforts to save Social Security and help save recipients. But with the recession looming, many say it's a bad idea. As with the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund depletion it faces 2023 reports, the president has suggested that some are calling for a sweeping 4-point plan to bolster funds in the trust. The plan will also help the $22 trillion funding shortage shown in the 2023 Trust Report if the federal government cannot fix the shortage. It could result in benefits cutting up to 24% of retirees beginning in 2033, while some of Biden's proposed changes will affect the high earners and company executives. Those who have retirement savings plan on potentially higher than the average American. Some will affect the middle and low-income wage earners. Analysts have also noted that it will especially affect those who may rely on Social Security benefits in the future. Currently, any earned income below $160,000 is subject to a payroll tax. Earnings exceeding that amount are not subject to any taxes. Biden plans to tax the earned income above $400,000, leaving wages above $160,000 up to $400,000 untaxed. Each year, Social Security benefits are addressed and based on inflation adjusted through a cost of living allowance. Currently, the administration uses this to calculate the COLA, but this doesn't necessarily reflect the lifestyle and expenses of retired people. Shifting COLA calculations to figures tied to the Consumer Price Index for the elderly won't even solve the problem for Social Security running out of money. It could just put more money into the pockets of retired Americans who need it the most. The Primary Insurance Trust Fund is an amount indicating that how much Americans will receive in Social Security benefits. It all depends on your age, when you began claiming benefits, and your average index monthly earnings. Increasing the primary insurance amount for Americans ages 72 to 82 would help those experiencing and also healthcare. The low-wage earners receive a special minimum benefit regardless of how much they made while they worked. In 2023, a lifetime low working earner would receive $12,000 in Social Security benefits or $1,000 a month. Biden intends to increase the minimum benefit to 125% of the federal poverty level for an individual. An example in 2023 is someone receiving a special minimum benefit will receive $1,500 per month with the boost. However, any Social Security overall plan would require the bipartisan support in Washington, and so far Democrats and Republicans haven't been able to see eye to eye in some ways. But fears of a recession have mounted since the Federal Reserve began hiking interest rates in early 2022. Because according to a chief of economists, although the latest gross domestic product figures indicated growth, a recession could still be imminent. With rampant inflation, Americans are grappling with wages that struggle to keep up with the rising cost of living and things like this. But just about 28% of people say they approve of a fourth stimulus check.
We've all seen
breaking news, everybody. SNAP payments are being delayed in select states across the country. Millions of low-income Americans are expected to be cut from the program, and with inflation still affecting many people in states like New Jersey, they're passing a bill to prevent people from losing their benefits. Now, SNAP is the nation's most important anti-hunger program. It is providing essential food purchasing assistance for the low income. And according to the budget and policy priorities, SNAP helped an average of 41 million Americans, all in 2021. But now some states are failing to pay recipients on time, while others may even be at risk of losing their checks. Because according to state public records, Georgia has failed to pay thousands of SNAP recipients, and approximately 60% or 46,000 applications were delayed in May. On the Facebook page from the state, it says the Department of Human Services, which oversees the program, is that one SNAP recipient said they applied to renew benefits nearly 2 months ago, and they haven't received any benefits since March. Obviously, there is a problem with this. Applications for SNAP benefits are supposed to be processed within a month, and even a spokesperson from the department said that they are currently working on this as quickly as possible. But they're having problems by being hampered by federal rules and requirements, which prevent them from streamlining the process, but still, there is no excuse. People need their money. SNAP recipients nationwide are at risk of losing their benefits by 2025 under the bill. Joe Biden has signed a bill into law to suspend the debt limit, but also change the work requirements for older adults. The new agreement will now expand work requirements for adults 50 to 54 years old, and currently SNAP dictates that adults 18 to 49 can only receive checks for 3 months out of every 3 years, unless they work at least 20 hours a week. Experts have said this puts 750,000 older adults ages 50 to 54 at risk of losing food assistance. Veterans and kids aiding out of foster care and homelessness are exempt from this new type changes. These changes are expected to be in place until 2030, and there are new exemptions to the rule. Experts have said that SNAP governments in charge of administering SNAP can waive the work requirements for areas with high levels of unemployment. SNAP departments in Pennsylvania, for instance, New Jersey have already planned to apply for new waivers depending on what the USDA will allow. But the end of the public health emergency on May 11th has created several changes for Medicare beneficiaries. Whether Medicare will or will not cover a certain healthcare cost may now depend on whether you are in traditional Medicare or a private insurer of the Advantage plan. Now, the former president administration declared a public health emergency in January of 2020, but this May, it has decided to end it. During the public health emergency, Medicare plans were not allowed to change or move members out of work network officiants. But those protections have ended, and people will once again either have to pay more or not have coverage depending on their Medicare Advantage plan. And the good news is that Medicare beneficiaries receiving telehealth will be able to do so through at least December 31st, 2024. Telehealth is largely unaffected by the end of the public health emergency because of a 2023 law extending the telehealth coverage until next year. But the lawmakers in the Congress have discussed this and are planning to cut Social Security and Medicare. Americans are not happy with that, and few Americans would be okay with that. Some politicians having suggested a short. Millions of people currently qualify for at least one bonus refund check. Officials even said that there are billions of dollars in unclaimed payments right now. These checks can be worth over $1,000 for many of you guys. And according to CNBC News, there is a decent chance that your state is holding money or that other assets belong to you, and the government officials want you to have it. The National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators has said that about 33 million Americans collectively have an estimated $70 billion worth of unclaimed property being held by the state treasury. The types of assets that end up with states range from uncashed checks or rebate checks to inactive brokerage accounts and unpaid life insurance benefits. The average value of each claim is $2,000. Last year, about $4 billion in property tax was returned to the rightful owners. While each state has its own rules that govern the process of claiming the property, you can count on being required to prove that you are the rightful owner. For example, providing documents confirming your identity. States often try to locate people as well, for instance, matching the owner's information to a tax return. And according to officials, state treasuries get new unclaimed property turned over to them every single day. Officials are encouraging people to check their missing money in a national cleaning house for unclaimed assets, and most people are participating in this. The IRS may have some extra money for you, and the tax agency has announced that more than $500 million in outstanding refunds remain unclaimed for the 2019 tax. The agency estimates that more than 1.5 million taxpayers might have qualified for a refund but did not file a federal income tax return for the 2019 tax year. If you are due a refund, you must file a federal income tax return to get your money. Things are a little bit different this year. You have more time than usual to claim the 2019 refund. That's because the normal filing deadline to claim refunds is